So, a rescue, but for whom? Grover Norquist has been looking at this package very closely. Let's just say it's not what you think. Grover, what are you saying?
Well, it's a great deal of spending. For those people who believe in Keynesian stimulus, only a fifth of the money will be spent in the next year. This is a huge increase in total spending. It's not some sort of Keynesian stimulus. I would argue that even that is a false hope. Imagine Obama and Reid and Pelosi taking buckets of water from one side of a lake and pouring them into the other side of the lake and explaining to you that they were stimulating the lake, that they were making the water deeper. In point of fact, every dollar being spent by this stimulus package is taken out of the economy by taxes or debt. It doesn't make things any better. If you look at what they're spending it on, AIDS education, I missed the stimulus impact of that. They wanted to do reseeding of the mall. And there's a number of fairly outrageous spending programs. This is one.
All right, by the way, I don't want to interrupt you, Grover. This thing passed. This is not a surprise, and it's not the end of the road, guys. They go to the Senate. They're going to pick apart some things that they want to do strictly different in the Senate here, but it's going to be expensive, and maybe to get Republicans on board, although they don't need Republicans on board, but certainly blue dog Democrats on board or more conservative Democrats on board, they do need to show more tax benefits, right? Are we going to see that?
Well, interestingly, the Democrats, the blue dog Democrats, are not advocates for lower taxes. They've been advocates for higher taxes. So a moderate Democrat...
I just want to be clear. They're not advocates for runaway spending. They're concerned the party's going in that direction, but I just want to clarify.
They say that, and almost everyone... Watch the final vote. Only a handful of Democrats have expressed any objection to several, $700–800 billion in new spending. Watch the blue dogs. If they vote for this bill, they're not fiscal conservatives in any way.
Well, you could be right, because only 12 voted against this. Let me get your, Democrats, I should say. Let me get your sense then of what a final measure might look like. Now, the argument has been, and this is something Barack Obama's folks have repeated again and again, boy, remember everyone whining about Bill Clinton's stimulus measure that included, remember that tax hike on the upper income back in 1993, and remember that passed by one vote. Al Gore's deciding vote, not a single Republican voting for it back then. They said, oh, it'll be the end of the world, and you'll hear the skid marks as the economy goes off the cliff. Didn't happen. So the Obama folks are saying, you know what, it's happening all over again, the naysayers, and they're going to be proven wrong.
Well, if they believe that, they wouldn't be begging for Republican votes. If Obama and Reid and Pelosi believe that this massive spending program would make things better, they would want to take credit for it with the Democrats. What they remember about Bill Clinton's tax increase and spending increase was that the Republicans, to a man, voted against it, and then the Democrats lost the House and lost the Senate because people were appalled by what was going on. They want Republicans holding their hands as they do this spending bill, because in 2010, when there's an election for every member of the House, there may well be a sense that this was wasted money. Imagine how much we've learned about this bill, about how much is not stimulus, about how much goes to big city political machines. 2 years from now, we'll know more stuff about it.
We will. Grover, thank you very much.